My name is Kristin Murray. I am a longtime resident of Timmins. I've been here for over 15 years. Moved here originally for college when I was 17. Made the decision to move to Timmins because this is where I wanted to be. After being here for a couple of years during college, I decided that I was going to stay, so I moved here on my own, and I've been here ever since. I'm raising two girls, my daughters in Timmins, so I'm very well committed to the city. Originally from down south, but I've always, my family is from the north, so I moved to Chapleau as a young child, and I think always been exposed to the hunting, the fishing, the culture of living in the north. So I think for me, living in Chapleau is just a very small community, and I wanted something a little bit more, but nothing too south. So Timmins was that place that I could really fall in love with. So I've been working in nonprofits for over 15 years since my time in Timmins, and in different capacities. So I started off as an intake worker at a top service agency, and then moved on, kind of getting promoted along the way as the foster care worker, and became the foster care supervisor. So really being connected with community and making sure that a lot of the decisions and the roles that I held in the community were based on family and connections. So right now I'm a health promoter at Municipal Elections. So that's been pretty good. It's just encompassing all areas of a person's being, their physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. So there's that. I also spent time at the Timmins Native Friendship Center as their Director of Programs and Services. So working alongside the Executive Director, had the opportunity of opening up the site in New City, which is an extension of the Friendship Center here. And met a lot of amazing people up there, learned a different culture, different way of life. It was amazing. I think always having an interest in politics within the cultural landscape of where I work. There's political aspects everywhere. It's tied to funding, it's tied to the way we do business. So I think I've always had a keen interest because I've met people at all levels of government and levels within politics, right? So some very inspirational female people who are in politics really kind of just paved the way. They're just really good mentors. I'm definitely for our community expanding. Absolutely. I think it does a justice to the community. Some of the things we have to consider are what are the operational costs going to be? Because I think there's something to be said about a building, but how we continue to have that thrive within the city is another thing as well. In terms of working in nonprofits, you have to think about a lot of levels. So although I support the center, I really need to find out more about what that's going to look like in our community. My children play sports, and I think it would be good to have a lot of people involved and not even only sports. I see this as a bigger space. Could nonprofits be housed there? Would they be able to pay rent to be housed there? Would it be like a community center? So I have a lot of thoughts around it, but I think it's just too soon for me to make that yes or no stance. But I definitely want to see what's to come. I had the opportunity of attending Stars and Thunder for the last 2 years because I think there's something to be said about attending something, not just sitting back in judgment and complaining about what this event is. So I went the first year. I was actually on the main stage as the MC for the Indigenous dancing and drumming. So I got to see a little bit about how the performances went and attended as well. This year I took a different approach and I was more volunteering. So I spent most of the days and evenings volunteering. But I think there's a little bit of questions that I have in regards to why the city was running and not necessarily other groups coming forward, or not even that other groups would come forward, but that they would take that initiative on as opposed to the city. There's other communities that have festival and events committees that do these types of things. And I think, with the feedback of last year, there's always areas for change. So we didn't make changes again this year, which was surprising to me, knowing that the feedback was not as positive as everyone would hope. So another 8-day festival, I was slightly disappointed. It has created a divide within the city. It's pretty obvious. So I think really taking that back and thinking, can this event happen, but have someone else manage it? And I don't mean one person. It could be a committee of people. It could even look like a private sector initiative. So there's possibilities there. But as far as another 8-day event, I can't say that that's something that I would really support. With everything that's happening in the city right now, could potentially be one of the driving forces as to why I'm running. There's various reasons, but I think the lack of civility is really something that needs to be addressed. And I don't mean any disrespect, but there's professionalism that needs to come to the table. And I think, as individuals, we have differences, absolutely. But it's the way we handle those differences. It's how we speak to each other. It's how we communicate on social media. Like, the lack of respect is just uncalled for. I have a vehicle myself, and I get it. I think, and I hate to go back to being in a nonprofit, but I think having that experience, when you need something done, you have to be that advocate. You have to go for it. You have to have the drive to get it done. So you look at all of your funding options. You look at where you can pull the money from, where you can get money from. Because I think the roads is a big issue, and it will continue to be an issue if we don't fully fix it. This Band-Aid solution where we just put a little bit of asphalt in the holes isn't getting us anywhere. So I think just looking at other ways we can fix it, and that could be being more aggressive with government. Ward 5 is huge. It's a very large ward, and I think I'm grateful that there are 4 people representing the ward because there's a lot that needs to be done. And just with the downtown core, especially, we have businesses that are closing. There's people feeling unsafe. Having discussions with the people in Ward 5, they're very candid with the responses of this is what needs to change. And I think arts and culture is definitely the biggest thing. Our community needs to embrace some of the local talent that we have because those young people do move on, and we need to draw them back. And they're very capable, very able to do things. And I think just having people with a creative mind will really allow Timmins to really be prosperous. So one of my platform points is strategic partnerships, and I think that is crucial when you're trying to address issues, right? So what is your goal, and who are your key people in making that happen? So working in nonprofits, I think we have the ability to communicate at that ground level. What are the issues people are having? Is it addictions? Is it mental illness? Those are some of the key issues, and I have spent a lot of time working with people who suffer from them, and I think when you really need to look at what traumatic experiences has that person gone through, because some of the choices they're making are life-threatening. So when it comes to petty crime and homelessness within Timmins, I definitely have a soft spot for people who have gone through those experiences because no one needs or deserves to be without a home by any means. And I think we should help the people that accept it, and for those that don't, they don't know that it's there. As a homeowner, I feel the impact, right? In the last few years, my taxes personally have gone up, and I would prefer if they weren't that bad. So, having thought about this in a way that's creative would be there's some changes that could be made within City Hall. The ones that are little changes, but that would make a difference. And once changes are made at that level, the constituents would be able to see, hey, there's changes being made, and then there would be a lot more comfort. So I mean, it could be as simple as I'm a part of the committee, and then our lunches are catered by the city. Well, why not have an afternoon meeting? That money that's going towards the lunches would be saved, and I don't know how many other committees have lunches. That's just one example of changes that can be made. I have a lot of creative ideas, definitely, that I'd love to share. And there's a whole panel of other council members that will be there. So I think, given the opportunity, it would just be amazing. Like I talked about strategic partnerships, I was lucky enough to be one of 25 women across Canada chosen to take a leadership program at St. Francis Xavier University. And throughout that process, we learned how to become change agents. We learned how to leverage strategic partnerships, how to engage community. So those are the things that I've been doing for the past how many years. And I think now has been a time where I can put those skills to better use and for the community. So I was in Toastmasters, and I don't know if everyone knows what Toastmasters is. It's a speaking club, and they really just give you the skills and abilities to speak in public, but also speak respectfully and speak off the cuff, because sometimes you're posed with questions, sometimes you're put in situations, and I think to be level-headed, because you'll have to, sitting on the city council, you'll have to make decisions. People will be looking to you, but they'll also want to be assured that you have the ability to do things, right? So I think that's one of them. Being in management, I've been in management at various organizations that I've worked with. So, I have the ability to work frontline, but typically moving myself up just by my sense of management stuff. I'm very approachable. And I think being professional, I think that's kind of key. I'm involved with the violence against women sector. And the city has put together a committee which I sit on, and I think I would really like to move the agenda forward in terms of not only violence against women, but the bullying and other things that do occur within the city. I think just having a community that embraces differences would be kind of like my key. So another part of my platform is the social and community engagement piece. I think that a lot of people in Timmins have a lot to offer, and there's a certain population that's feeling a little disconnected, or what is there to do in Timmins? There is a lot to do, but I think if we work together and maybe showcase what are the nonprofits doing, what are the for-profits doing, what's the downtown core doing, and really get people to know what's happening within the city, and having the city support initiatives as well. So I work with community, and I'm very passionate about that. I always have been. So I'm connected with people. So for 15 years, this is what I've been doing, having conversations with people, running programming. So some of the programs that I have coming up are Seeking Safety. So that's a program that deals with substance abuse and trauma. So I will be running that program in the community. I also do a lot of fitness workshops in the community, healthy eating, those types of things. I'll continue to do what I'm doing, and I guarantee that because that's just who I am as a person. What I can say is I've never, and I will not, make promises that I can't keep. So I think if I continue on the way that I've been doing things, and that's just in my nature, there will be no broken promises. In terms of economic development, we have a whole department for that. And I think that that's something, could we offer incentives? Could we be doing more in that capacity? There's great people that work there, but are we utilizing them in the right way? So it's an arts and culture initiative within the city to really engage community, as well as showcase some of our local talent. We have so much talent here, and I've said this before, but it really will look at murals within our city, and murals that will stay for generations to come. So I've already met with City Council, I have the support of the Downtown BIA, which is amazing. Just really looking forward to getting funding. I definitely think that the city can do a better job at promoting what the landscape looks like downtown. I think people are a little reserved because they see it as a dwindling sort of area, rather than kind of boasting on its potential. Because I think having first lived in Timmins years ago, downtown was a place that was kind of hustling and bustling, but now that's changed. So I think if we had the right people at the table to sort of make things happen, things would be really great. Arts and culture for me is number one, because businesses that are very artistic could thrive in the downtown core, and that would draw in a lot of the younger people to downtown, making it a lot safer, making it a lot more friendly. So I've been thinking about politics for quite some time. Initially wanted to run as a board trustee, I want to say probably 8 years ago. But then I thought, as I had conversations with people, as I talked to family, and even some mentors and previous bosses or current boss that I have, talked about being a change agent, and having the ability to do that. So I think building up the confidence was really important in order to run. So it's kind of been a long time running, and here I am. So it's been great so far. I think having the support of family and friends and even employer is amazing. So I question that myself too, because on a personal level, my daughter plays ringette and has for the past 9 years. So I think I see how many people are in the arenas. I see people playing hockey, and I know that sometimes we go to arenas and there's ceiling, and it's hazardous when they're skating. So I can understand initially the conversations about an ice pad, and that was my thought as well. Is we're going to have a big arena, maybe a couple of ice pads. But as the conversation kind of went further, it was really emphasis on aquatic, and I guess I see the point in maybe having a certain number of lanes. It would draw competitions. I get that, but at the same time, you're right in saying that Timmins is a hockey town, and Renette, they're big here, and I think catering to those very popular sports is important as well. And I think that's why I'm a little hesitant to actually give a stance, because I know that arena pads are needed as opposed to and this is no disrespect to the community that does swimming, but just looking at my personal experience in the city in the past years. When I say strategic partnerships for job creation and growth to industry, I'm really talking about how can we use resources that we have to grow. We all have an agenda, and the thing is we use our partnerships to sort of get our needs met, right? So sometimes that includes bartering. Like if I can offer a service, how can you help me out? And I think with Timmins, our population is growing. So we really have to take steps at working together to sort of create those jobs, create those partnerships that will last forever. Like with our high school students and co-op students, they need to get a certain number of hours. So why aren't we using them within our city? City Hall has so many jobs. There's so many different tasks that can be done. So I think if you build those relationships and teach people the core values of working, what would happen after is they would be aware of a level of government that they weren't aware of before, and then also realize that, hey, when I was before college, when I was working as a high school student in Timmins, I gained these skills, and I'd like to go back to give back to my community. I'm very passionate about that because I've taken on placement students. I've had the opportunity to sort of be there to give people skills in order to kind of let them go out into the workforce, and I think that's a good opportunity to get our young people and just let them know, hey, there's an importance in coming back here and making a difference, or just if they're coming back to work, if they're coming back to raise their family. So I've had the opportunity to spend a session with the Canadian Environmental Law Association as well as the Friends of Portage River Watershed. So it was really eye-opening in a sense, and just hearing their stories just really touched me, because people who have lived there for their entire lives now feel displaced, like they can't go outside, and it's gotten really bad. So I think they've tried to navigate the city for many years, and I think now they're making a little bit of headway, but things need to happen. It's unfortunate. Like, water is life. We need water for so many things, and the fact that a whole part of our community is kind of like suffering is just, it's sad. I think when it's almost like applying for a job. There are certain skills and abilities that need to come with that, and you don't necessarily settle on the lowest. I get the intention behind it to try to save money, but in the long run, sometimes when you're saving money, you're paying for it later on. So I think that if it is revisited, just allowing for more opportunities and more questions to be asked, not necessarily whoever comes in the lowest. At Curtis Park, Miss Away and the Healthy Kids Community Challenge installed some fitness equipment. So I'm there every Wednesday kind of working out and just showing people some techniques about how to work out. So that is just an expansion of some of the equipment that's going on in the city. But I think I'd like to take that a step further, because there are a lot of other initiatives. There are a lot of things that we can do. Yes, they cost money, but at the same time, being knowledgeable in the area of applying for grants and funding, I think that I have the ability to do that. So it wouldn't be costing the city any money. It would just be about, how do we leverage those community partners to be able to apply for certain grants, because it can be done. For me, it's about representing a voice or voices that have never been at the table before for me. Given just my background and just where I've come in life, I think that I have a lot to offer, and I know that this next step would just take me and the city of Timmins to another level. I have the skills and abilities. I have the community of Timmins is here. It's in my heart. I live here. I work here. A lot of the decisions that I make are based around community. So I think, for me, I'm very committed, and I think that's the most important thing. I'm community-minded, community-driven. I've always been really connected to the community, and